What's up guys? Welcome back to another episode of Embroidery Hub. For this episode, we're taking it back to the basics to cover a topic that every embroiderer should know to ensure quality embroidery, which is stabilizer, otherwise known as backing. Embroiderers everywhere struggle with when to use stabilizer and which stabilizers to use for certain garments and materials. And with so many variations of stabilizers to choose from, it's no wonder why this topic can seem so confusing and overwhelming. So in this episode, I'm going to break down the 4 most popular stabilizer types, when to use them, and what materials they work best with. So stay until the end of this video so I can tell you where you can download a cheat sheet of the 50 most popular fabrics used by decorators and how to embroider them for the best quality. This sheet includes the best combinations of stabilizers, needles, adhesive, and other tips to ensure that your embroidery comes out perfectly. So what are we waiting for? Let's jump right in. So what is stabilizer anyways? Well, stabilizer, also referred as backing, stabilizes your fabric doing embroidery and prevents it from puckering or moving. Stabilizer is typically hooped with the garment and is embroidered along with the fabric you're embroidering. Some stabilizers are placed on top of the fabric, while most are placed behind the fabric. You should also know that not all garments require additional stabilization. For example, structured caps, like the Richardson caps, already have enough support built in. Other materials, however, require backing because if the material is not stable enough during embroidery, you may experience some registration issues or puckering, or just simply the quality won't be as good. For example, these polo shirts. As you can see, the polo that doesn't have backing has puckering and some registration issues. On the other hand, the polo that we are using backing on has no issues whatsoever. So what type of backing should I use? Now remember, you can't use any backing. The appropriate backing to use depends on the item that you'll be embroidering. The rule of thumb when selecting backing is very simple. When embroidering thick or heavy fabrics, you should use a thinner backing. When embroidering on light or structured fabrics, you should use a thicker backing. Now your design also plays a factor in this. The more density your design has, or the bigger your design is, the more support your fabric needs. Now you're probably wondering what size of backing is considered light or heavy. Typically, backing is available in many different weights, ranging from 1 ounce all the way up to 3.5 ounces. A lightweight would be 1 to 2.5 ounces. Medium weight is a 2 to a 2.75 ounces. And heavyweight is 3 to 3.5 ounces. Now that I've covered some of the backing basics, let's jump right into the 4 main types of backing that you should always keep on hand. So let's start with cutaway. Cutaway backing is used for permanent support as it provides the most stability. Cutaway backing is cut with scissors, and hence the name cutaway. Cutaway is best used on materials that stretch, such as knits and fabrics that will be worn and washed frequently, as it prevents the design from stretching. It's also great for highly detailed designs, including small lettering. It's also used on loosely woven and unstructured caps like the dad cap style. For a great tutorial on using cutaway backing for stretchy fabrics, check out the How to Embroider a Knitted Sweater that I've linked in the description below. So now let's jump into tearaway backing. Tearaway backing is used for light support and is less stable than cutaway backing. And yes, you're right, it's named tearaway because you remove it by tearing it off the garment. Tearaway backing is typically used on firmly woven, natural fiber fabrics that don't stretch, such as terry cloths, robes, blankets, leather, and much more. Tearaway is also used when you don't want the backing to show on the other side of the design, such as the back of a towel, caps, and bags. When your fabric requires strong support, you can also use several layers of lightweight to medium weight if you need to. Speaking of caps, we have a great episode on Embroidery Hub where we show you how to embroider a cap using tearaway backing. You can find that link in the description below. Both tearaway and cutaway stabilizers also come in different varieties. Some come with an adhesive side meant to keep the stabilizer fixed in place while hooping your garment. This adhesive also adds a little bit more stability. Cutaway stabilizers is also available in a clear mesh called poly mesh or no-show. Poly mesh or no-show backing is a lightweight woven cutaway that is soft, thin, but strong. This type of stabilizer does not show through light colored garments, hence its name. Both stabilizers also come in different varieties, thickness, and colors to accommodate different projects. If you want to see an in-depth tutorial on embroidering a stretchy t-shirt using no-show cutaway, I've linked that to the description below. So now let's get into topping. Topping is a type of wash-away stabilizer. It's a water-soluble plastic film that's used on top of an embroidery design to prevent stitches from sinking into the texture of the fabric. It's used for temporary support on delicate, mesh-like, and difficult-to-mark fabrics like pique, fleece, terry cloth, or corduroy. Topping is also highly recommended when embroidering on towels, as it allows the stitches to stand out as much as possible. When using topping, it's necessary to apply backing on the back of the fabric to stabilize the garment. Topping may be removed by tearing it away, spraying it with water, or a combination of both. For an in-depth review on all of the water-soluble stabilizers and what they're best used for, check out our video on 4 best water-soluble stabilizers and how to use them, which I've linked in the description below. We also have a video comparing water-soluble topping versus heat-soluble topping. That's also in the description below. Now let's jump into specialty stabilizers, which will also come in handy. One of them is poly mesh, which I mentioned earlier. But there are also fusible stabilizers that stick to the fabric and are removed with heat. Fusible backing is used on very stretchy materials. Once fused to the garment, the fabric and the backing become one stable material. It's also used to cover up a finished piece of embroidery, such as an infant's onesie, where the stitches and the backing will otherwise irritate the baby's skin. Some of the fusible stabilizers are also available with a paper covering that is removed. And lastly, there are water-activated stabilizers, which you use by moistening the top with water and then adhering your fabric on top. This type of stabilizer is known to hold the fabric very, very firmly. Alright guys, that's all you need to know about stabilizers. If you found this episode to be helpful, make sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also hit that notification bell so you can be notified when we post videos like this. If you're not already following us on Facebook, then join our community of apparel decorators in our Facebook group, Embroidery and Custom Apparel Mastery, link down in the description below. Also follow us on Instagram, where we now have close to 25,000 followers and post content like this daily. As I mentioned earlier, you can download the 50 most popular fabrics used by decorators and how to embroider them for the best quality by clicking the link in the description below. So make sure you download that free resource before you go. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.